Alright, hello there guys, it's Mercy and welcome back to another product review, and today I want to do a product update regarding a mouse that I did a review 7 months ago, and it's the Ziyou Lang X2. So it's been 7 months. I just want to give a quick update to how this mouse has held up and how I feel about it 7 months later. First and for all, I did some mod to this mouse that I feel like is very crucial if you want to make this your main. And first of all is the feet. So what I did is I took the mouse apart, took a wet sandpaper, not a wet sandpaper, it's a dry and wet sandpaper. I start really low at, I think it was 400 grits, and I just hold the mice in a very equal place because you need to have it on the equal pressure, and just keep sanding until it's really flat. And I just slap on Tiger Ice V2 G102 feet, and 100% that mod alone made this mice way much more playable in game, in rank, in OSU, in everything. But the fees was one of my biggest pet peeve of the original Ziyou Lang X2. The second mod that I did is I sanded down the glossy plastic on the sides so the grip is nicer. But if you guys notice, I also have grip tapes on them that I will explain later. But again, just like the base plate, I did take like a really rough sandpaper at first, sand it down evenly, and then take a lighter a higher grit, which is I think 1000 grit, to smooth it in and out. And once I did that, the grip, the raw plastic grip, is so much nicer than the glossy plastic that they gave us. Oops, sorry. So so again, it's really good. And the only reason why I have a grip tape on, I only have this grip tape for like a month actually, and the only reason I did it is because it's such a large mice that I've noticed that my grip on this mouse have been really inconsistent. And the reason for that is, I think it's the right side. So what I did is I put 3 grip tapes like this. This is where my pinky will, my ring will rest, and this is where my pinky will rest when I do a when I do a palm grip, if you guys know this. So my ring is here, my pinky is right here, and if I'm palming this mice, that's where my hand will rest. But if I'm clawing, like I always do on all my grips, relax claw, my favorite grip types, my ring will now sit in between the grips, between the ring and the pinky before, and then my pinky will stay behind here as an anchor. So it makes my grip much more comfortable, much more consistent actually. Every time I put my hand, I know where to grip the mice. And it's probably just because it's a big mouse, because I don't have the same issue with the G Pro X, with the Skull Mini, with the XT3, with the Orochi, all of those. And it's only with the Ziyou Lang X2 where I feel like my grip is not consistent at all, even after all this period of using it. So again, mount the side buttons, mount the side grips, and put some grip tapes for even better grip. This other mod that I did is weight reduction. I downgraded the battery size to 300 mAh battery, and I cut a lot of the exoskeleton. But if you guys notice, there's actually no battery inside there because I broke the connector and I'm waiting for the new battery to arrive. But I managed to make the weight down to 68 grams from the original 82, if I recall correctly. And all I did is I just took apart the mice, cut anything that I don't want, and downsize the battery, and that's basically it. So after all those mods, this mice is actually really good. The build quality has suffered. It creaks a lot now, and top to bottom presses now actually actuate buttons. And so the build quality suffered, but with the weight that I get out of this large mouse, it's actually really fun. And the sensor performance have also been really good. I didn't notice any degradation in performance. Lift-off issue is still there, so if you are allergic to lift-off distance, like high lift-off distance, this might still not be for you. But once you get used to it, it's actually pretty fine. DPI deviation is still noticeable. I play on 750 instead of 800, and I still feel like it's a really nice sweet spot for me, so I don't have issue with that as well. And the wireless performance has also been really good. Some people notice delays, but I'm playing on 144 Hz BenQ monitor, and I have my my dongle right in front of the mouse, and I've noticed 0 delay at all in OSU, in Valorant. So it could be a QC issue. I could have the really perfect quality control unit. So wireless performance is good. Sensor performance is decent. It's a 3025 that has 0 flick issues for me at 800 DPI. And yeah, so no issue with sensors for me, at least, at all. The buttons have been Still pretty good. They are heavier, but they've been lighter compared to the day one where I owned this mice. Maybe because it's broken in a little bit more, so it still feels a lot more nicer to actuate than day one. So no complaint there at all. Side button still horrible. It's very tinny. A lot of pre and post travel. Might have to mod that one day, but at this state it's still horrible. Scroll wheel still too light for my taste. It's zero. I mean, there's tactile, but it's too lightweight. It's not good. I don't like it. But middle click is actually pretty nice, but because it's so light, middle click sometimes actuate the scroll wheel. So yeah, and DPI button is DPI buttons. And I think that's about it. I also cut the shell in the front here a little bit so I can put a lot more different types of USB cables. Not types, a lot more different USB cable than the stock one, because the original one have like kind of shroud on it, so you can only put the original cable, and the original cable was really horrible. And so cut that out. I can put paracords now and it's fine. So I don't have the battery right now, so I cannot use it. I cannot turn it on. But again, with this 300 milliamp battery that I own, it weighs about 68 grams, large, really nicely performing 70 ringgit gaming mouse. Like, it's hard to argue the value proposition here. Yes, there's a lot of mods need to be done, but the tonal mods that this cost me is only like 100 ringgit total with the mouse, because the feeds are like, I think it's 20 something, and the grip is leftover grips, you know. So I don't even think you need the grips. Like, it's barely anything. You just need some sandpapers, some nippers, pliers, and just cut, sand, and apply your skates, and honestly 10 times better mouse already. But if you want extra battery or downgrade the weight, the size for a lighter weight, you might have to pay extra for that. And yeah, overall really happy with this purchase. It's still one of my it's still one of my better value purchase that I've made in years. Like, this is a stupid purchase. This costs too much, but this one has still been a very nice purchase. I won't be scared to recommend this to anyone if they don't mind the heavier weight out of the box, the worst skate out of the box, and the overall worst texture out of the box. But once you put your time and mod the mouse, it went from a C plus to a B, and that's a huge praise for 70 ringgit. And I think that's about it. That's really nothing much else to talk about, because the mouse is pretty decent. I'll play this. If I have to use this for the rest of my life, I'll be happy enough. I'll be grateful. And that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Is this fit? Yeah, there we go. Peace.